merits. They will talk about your contract
Your
later.
personnel file. Bill.
Exactly.
Take it off my peg.
Yeah.
Oh, your pay's being docked.
How are you? Good. Good to see you. Mic's all on. Video's going. You can call whenever you're ready.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the Town of Groton Historic District Commission regular meeting minute agenda for Tuesday, June 18th, 2024. We are starting the meeting at 7:02 PM. I'd like to seat John Goodrich as a full member for the evening. And everybody else is already a full member. I guess we'll start right away with. Oh, no, we are not going to start right away. We're going to first, I'm going to waive the hearing procedures, and if anybody would like to see them, there's a yellow sheet on the side. And also I'd like to ask our esteemed secretary to read the call.
Thank you. Town of Groton notice of public hearing, Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, June 18th, 2024 at 7 PM at the Groton Town Hall Annex, 134 Groton Long Point Road, and virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. HCC 24-0043, 33 West Main Street, Robert Nelson applicant, Rosemary Robinson owner, rebrand signage, PIN number 2619184000844. HCC 24-0044, 25 New London Road, Lauren Connors owner, applicant, mini split installation, PIN number 2619172048181. HCC 24-0045, 7 Pearl Street, Brett Halen applicant, Will Lawton owner, air handler installation, PIN number 2619183188109. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website meetings calendar. Applications are on file and available for public inspection online and during normal business hours at the Planning Department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut. Dated this 11th day of June, 2024 at Groton, Connecticut. Todd Brady, Secretary.
All right, thank you, Todd. We'll just start right up with HDC 24-0043, 33 West Main Street, Robert Nelson applicant, Rosemary Robinson owner, rebrand signage.
No, just me and Sue.
Okay,
You want to continue in case they show up?
Let's just skip them.
okay.
Microphone. Just skip them. They might still show up.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, so we will we'll just come back to that one in case they show up late. Next up is HTC 24-0044, 25 New London Road, Lauren Connors owner, applicant, and it's a mini split installation.
So you come on up.
Is it okay if I come up?
Yeah, you can come up.
Yeah.
So bring it.
Pull up more chairs if you want.
Yeah.
How's everyone doing today?
Excellent.
Well,
Right.
how are
Mr.
you?
Gillies, how are you?
Good to see you
Yes,
guys.
to say, long time no see.
I know. I'm trying to remember the procedure. Rich.
Introduce yourself.
Jeff Gillies, Densmore Oil.
Lauren Connors, owner,
And your
Applicant.
address.
25 New London Road.
Thank you.
Right, so the Connors are looking at putting in a Mitsubishi multi-zone mini split system. It would go on if you're facing the house from Route 1, it would be on the back hand side.
The camera on, Tim?
Yes, it is. I'm just getting, Sue asked. If it's that microphone that's right in between the two of you, can you just slide it maybe a little closer or in between the two of you and a little closer? Thank you very much.
I don't know where the camera comes in at.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
We got a nice shot of the microphone.
Keep going, yeah, towards me,
A little bit.
towards me and stop.
Okay. So we would be doing the unit, hold on, this is backwards to me, right here at the back of the house. So this is Route 1, and then you've got Rathman Place there. When I took photos from the street, it's pretty well blocked. There's a chimney that, juts out a little bit. Let's see if I can,
I want to just
Flip
turn
it
those
around.
around.
oh yeah, sorry, guys.
I know it's hard.
I know. So it'd be in the far back corner there. And when I took a picture straight on, this was a car parked there, so it seemed pretty obstructed. Be on a mini split stand, the lines for one of the interior units are gonna go through the house, so they're not gonna be visible, at all from the outside. The reason I was late was I realized I didn't have a photo of the back of the house, because this is one of those houses where you've got kind of two street views. So I just quickly ran over there.
As you're coming up the hill, that would be visible, wouldn't it? If I'm looking at
In
your
the winter.
location.
In the winter maybe, but it's gonna be side profile, so, once you're sort of at the point where you'd have an angle at it, there's a tree and some other things obstructing it there. Be at the far back.
Yeah.
And then this is a photo of the back of the house where the other indoor wall unit would go. So we'd be going through the basement and coming straight up to the unit location between the wall and the window right here. Using the slim duct, white wall, so, the line height covers, so that it would match the trim.
You have that plot plan there?
Yes,
Yeah, I don't have that here in the files. Is it?
Can you just mark on the plot plan?
Yeah, exactly where the unit's gonna be.
this is one of those fancy iPad pens. Does anyone have a pencil or pen? I could mark this on for you guys. Thank you.
Not mine.
And it looks like you've already proposed the cover for it. I see in your.
Yes.
Yeah.
A couple
So
different
nice.
options.
So do you have one you're focusing on?
You sort of have, you either
You
have
have
to
to pick
decide
one.
now
You have to
or
pick
come
one tonight.
back.
Well,
Um,
if you want to cover, do you
if-
want to cover?
if we have to cover it, I like the wood one.
We do too.
Okay.
Everyone's seen that. Here, why you can put that on the
Sure.
camera. too.
So what are your thoughts about the cover?
I'm fine with it. I was the one that uploaded the cover, so it was something I was happy with.
And again, can I see the location units
Oh.
on the map there?
Is this upside?
They're both there?
It's only one outdoor unit.
Oh, okay, so it's already there.
Yeah, we're gonna be using the basement to traverse.
Yeah, okay.
The reason I'm asking about the shielding and your feelings on it is that, this is auxiliary equipment, so we'd like it to be not too visible. On the other hand, there are a lot of them around that I think would be more visible than this one if it didn't have a cover. And it's fairly well back from the street. And it's still visible if you're looking, but it's not that visible. So, I mean, I'm not speaking for anybody else, but from my point of view, I think it would be okay with me, I'm thinking, if it didn't have a screening. But it's also fine with a screening.
Okay.
So I try to get a feel for how much you like
I
or don't like the
agree.
screening.
I really don't think you can see it that well unless you're really looking at it, looking for it from the street. But if the committee feels that it
Mhm.
should be screened, I'm happy to put something like that over there.
Obviously, it's your house, your choice, but I think I subtly made my.
And I'm with you, and
Okay.
also there's a few neighbors in that neighborhood that tend to contact me frequently, so I just,
Right. It's better to be
Better to be covered.
for yours, not for our sanity, your
I'll
sanity.
need that. I'll need
This
that.
one.
I do not have any questions.
Does anybody in the audience want to speak for the applicant?
You're doing a great job.
Anybody, I'm not gonna ask anyone to speak against it since there's no one else in the audience.
well, he made you have a change of heart.
Okay,
you
all
know?
right. All right, then HDC 24-0044 is closed. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
succinct
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you.
Night.
Cool. The next one's an air handler. That's not you though.
me too.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, HDC 24-0045, 7 Pearl Street, Brett Halen, applicant, Will Lawton, owner, air handler installation.
Jeff Gillies, Densmore Oil for 7 Pearl Street. I thought on the application I put myself in as agent, but I might have. Cause Brent.
Yeah, you're on here.
Oh,
You're on
okay.
you're on as
Yeah,
the
we
applicant,
just
you're
put-
agent and applicant.
Okay.
Right.
All right. This one isn't nearly as fun.
Easy.
Yeah.
You did a pre-app on this one, didn't you?
I did a pre-app on this one. I spoke with the town about the height requirements because 7 Pearl Street is in the flood zone.
Right.
So the homeowner had a surveyor come by and, you know, write up how high we would have to go to be out of the flood zone
Yeah.
there.
You were talking, I remember something like 12 feet or
It's,
something like that.
it's a little great. I'm not gonna. Flood zone is what it is. So the surveyor,
Well, first
had-
start with that one
Ah.
and show us where.
okay,
That's always.
I'm sorry, can I borrow your pen again? I thought I had filled these out, but it's been a little crazy. So I was looking at doing it on the side of the house.
Let's get
Oh.
disoriented first.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the house from Pearl Street, which side are you?
So Pearl Street is right here.
Yes,
So this is to the, if you're facing the house, to the left of the house.
and the house's driveway is on the right side?
The house's driveway is on the right side.
Okay.
The
It's pretty narrow to
A lot.
these houses are all close.
oh,
together.
they are, absolutely. So the driveway is quite narrow. The you know,
Mhm.
the lot is, you know, is
Mhm.
narrow.
Yep.
So based on that and with the equipment that they're, you know, looking at doing, basically the surveyor is saying to be out of the flood zone, I would have to have the bottom of the unit basically to the bottom of the window. So trying to figure out the screening side of things, you know, it was broached of doing, you know, a stand with pressure treated wood and lattice to kind of enclose it. I mean, that's gonna be visible from the street. The alternative would be, you know, with their lot and the property line the way it is. They were talking about doing, you know, shrubberies, greenery, you know, some sort of landscaping material. But the units with that height requirement for the bottom of the unit, it's gonna go up basically, you know, to essentially the trim of the second floor.
I'm
You mean
sorry.
to the shingles or?
The shingles, yes.
I'm sorry, I can interrupt with this. This is a, like, you have to put it up there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
You
flood
have no
zone.
choice.
Because of the flood zone,
Okay.
the
And what's the height again? I'm sorry, you told me, I didn't hear it.
the height from off the ground to the bottom of that window is 43.5 inches,
Almost 4
The
feet.
thing-
almost 4 feet.
The thing I'm confused about is there's all sorts of appliances in the house that are underneath, will be underneath water. This is just another.
They're already there.
Yeah, it's just,
Oh, just new
Yeah.
equipment stuff.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be a consideration if they were replacing an existing condenser, but it's new
Okay.
equipment that never existed before.
Yeah, it's of course
All right,
the,
so, okay, thank you. I didn't, I
yeah.
was thinking that's
so the
interesting. All right.
yeah, the homeowners are obviously not thrilled
Right.
about that, but it is what it is because of course they look at their neighbors across the driveway and that is a similar sized unit in the
Right.
back of the house, but but regardless, it doesn't matter what's other places. So I guess my question is, because ideally I'd like to be on the side of the house. If push came to shove, it's gonna be, you know, very visible. You know, of course, we would, you know, mask it as best of that we can. There would be a refrigerant line going up to the attic. that would be in brown line hide cover. So essentially the back of the unit would cover that until we got to the brown of the house. But I just wasn't sure if this was something that was, because I know screening is really important when it comes to these units. I just wanted to,
And I'm sure you've got a very good answer why can't you put it at the back of the house rather than on the side of the house?
there's a patio on the back of the
Okay.
house, and with the. Sorry, I took a lot of pictures. The driveway side I considered, but it would be at the end of the driveway. That is a photo of the back of the house, so there's about 30 inches of garden bed before it's right on the patio. But if the side was a no-go, that was my second thought.
But
It's
it would still be up
still be up.
44 inches or
Yeah,
43.5 inches.
This is just my personal opinion. Is even screening it, it's just gonna look like something stuck on the side of the house.
yeah.
No matter how you try and do it, I just think it's,
Yeah, I think screening it would do the opposite of what we intended for other.
I have
homes.
the same thing,
It
like this
would
big hunk
draw
of
your
wood hanging off a
attention
stucco house.
To it.
That's where, we were talking about. So there are a lot, if you follow that driveway, goes down, so the alternative would be, some sort of shrubbery or border,
Well, of course, shrubbery it doesn't technically count because shrubbery can be cut down.
yeah,
But if this were to be approved and I were doing it, I might seriously consider putting some shrubbery up anyway.
yeah,
Because I mean, if you put up some of the, arborvitae's or something, you could pretty
Right.
effectively
Right,
screen.
yeah.
It technically would not go into our decision.
Right.
But
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it would make it look a little bit, if you put a couple of them up, you really wouldn't see the thing. If you
Yeah.
want some decent sized ones to start.
That was part of the thought that, in the conversations I've had with the homeowners,
Yeah.
that was one of their ideas, and I think. Honestly, when it comes to the screening of it, putting up lattice that high,
Right.
I think would look.
It would literally
Awkward.
draw your eye to the.
Yeah, I think it would actually look better just on the wooden
pedestal.
stand and as close to the house as possible with as much obstruction, in
Yeah.
the front as possible.
So I have two questions. Has the homeowner talked to the neighbor next door, make sure they got their feelings on it?
I am not sure on that front.
And I mean, how bad of a project is it to put it back there where that line is?
So I would have to.
Looking at a much bigger expense for the homeowner, sorry.
Yeah, because where when it transitions to the stone foundation, like I would have to get into like a crawl space that's under there. It's not full basement. So I'd have to get in there, go through the basement, pop back out and go up. Getting into that crawl space is tough. You're kind of.
You could line height along the soffit. Had to.
Yeah, I could go up and line height along the soffit in white, and then come down. So that was one of the other,
Is this so the unit itself, is it a 2-fan unit or is it a single fan unit?
right now it's a 2-fan unit.
So did they consider doing single fan units side by side? It looks like there's plenty of room between those two windows.
Yeah, so
And then it wouldn't project up as nearly as much.
yeah, it's, so the reason being is on the 30,000 BTU Mitsubishi. So it's a single zone unit for the ducted air handler. So when you go from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you
For
go
air handler.
when you go from the hyper heat series, which heats down to -13 degrees,
Yeah.
to the regular unit, it heats down to 5. And they were looking at, well, this is blasphemy to me, they're looking at cutting down oil usage. So, but, but yes, it is a double fan unit, so. At this point,
So it's a 30,000 BTU,
30,000 BTU.
So it does the whole house.
2.5
It would do the entirety of the second floor,
Second.
You're just doing the second floor.
just second floor.
So the condenser itself feeds one unit in the attic. And then the air is conditioned up there and then delivered to the second floor. So doing 2 units is, 2 smaller units is not an effective way to approach it.
No.
Yeah, my concern on the driveway side was, of course, it's a driveway, you know, so worst case scenario, if somebody. You know, obviously you'd have to put up a, you know, ballast pole or something.
Even then.
Even then, it's sketchy.
Well, and this house, the front of this house is right on the street, the setback line is that
It's
is the
setback.
budding house.
It is.
I'm not really sure it's gonna be that big of a deal.
To me neither. I mean, this is such a limit, this is such an anomaly case in the sense of it's not.
What exactly are you asking, or what's in the current application?
So in the current application, it's to put the unit on that side, on the side of the house, you know, on a stand. You know, and
Right.
the thing that I wasn't, to be honest, very sure on was down there in that area. Frankly, it's very rare for us to be in a flood zone that's
Yeah. I
that
understand.
significant. And also without a really great alternative to, you know, fully hide the unit. But with there not being anything pre-existing, having to go that high, you know, it is kind of an anomaly.
And looking at it, it's, in all honesty, if you look at the elevations, it's one of the lowest spots. Right down there in town.
The houses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that spot.
So what
on
is
Grove
it,
Street
about
is like-
5?
What's that?
About 5, which means sea level and the existing height, you know?
Probably, yeah, because he has to be 12+1 in
Yeah.
the bottom of the equipment.
Yeah, so I think the street was like, I
86.
think it was like, it was in the 4s, I think.
Yeah,
It was-
4.5, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 4.5,
On GIS,
and so- Yeah,
I didn't quite, so you're just, the unit's gonna be there without any screening, that's what your application's for?
so I put in on the stand and I put on lattice, because I really
lattice.
wasn't sure. You know, if I were to put lattice on, you know, like the side of the stand, you know, okay, great, it hides it, kind of, not really, because as soon as you walk down the street, you know. So I'd have to do it probably on 2 sides to really like cover, you know, the entirety of the unit.
Mhm.
But then you're talking about, you know, 8 feet of lattice. So I think it
8
would,
feet up.
8 feet up. I just think it would,
Are you gonna ground mount the stand?
yeah.
Oh, so it's not gonna be, you're not gonna bracket it on the house?
I've been toying,
Too big or?
I've been toying around with that with the double fan and with the home construction. I'm a little worried about vibration
Yeah.
coming through the house. You know, it's in a living, it would be on the other side of a living room,
We
but
just did down on Apple Tree, they just did that house down there and they bracketed the generator, all the condensers.
Really,
Yeah.
they bracketed the generator.
Yes, a big, like a 18K generator. It's bracketed.
yeah.
Big 6x6 brackets. They did a beautiful job in making them. But, you know, and it was a lot of work, but you know, they bracketed it.
Yeah, I mean, this probably could be bracketed, but I'd probably be tearing apart the interior
Yeah, you
wall.
probably have to modify some framing. to
Well, you'd be
make
mounting
it-
it on the stucco, right?
Exactly.
And what's the scope of work difference putting it in the back there?
Scope of work is difference is probably an additional day of labor. You know, with X number of dollars. I mean, in terms of overall material, maybe additional longer line sets and
Not getting the dollars, that's percentage wise, how much is it increasing the bill on the homeowner? Significant.
yeah, I mean, I'd say, you know, probably between 10 and 20%. But overall, their goal, they had no air conditioning there, so they wanted something there, and also their steam boiler is, you know, a little inefficient, you know, when you look at their oil usage, so they're looking at ways to, you know, combat those two elements.
Are there any future considerations for conditioning the first floor?
Probably future considerations, but at that point, once again, it's, you know, I don't think it's in their, you know, in their budget at this time, and at that point, once again, I'm gonna be where where do you put it?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking
Yeah.
is if. the
Could you put that
long-term
one
plan
on
should
the
be
back?
Considered.
I could probably do that one on the back because it would be feeding mini splits, might be a little easier, because they were looking at the the back bedroom, which is on the other side of that wall somewhere else, so. Yeah,
And what's the stand gonna be made out of?
crushed treated wood, like concrete footings, I can get the carpenter to give me, exactly what he's going to do, but I wasn't sure on location or anything at this juncture, because I was a little not sure how this was gonna play.
Well, I mean, I think obviously we're gonna have to see drawing of how you're gonna
The stand.
stand it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, it's in my mind. You could even put build the platform for the condenser and put the condenser on top. I could almost see you screen the condenser and not the support structure underneath.
Yeah,
It would make it less, sort of a big, large image, if you know what I mean. Those you get, because you presumably you would use a ledger board and attach to the house, or you're gonna put it on four by fours or 6x6s to support it.
probably 6x6s.
Yeah, but four of them, like
Yeah.
one adjacent, so you stay off the building. in other
Correct.
words. Yeah, I don't know, it might not appear quite as heavy and,
I agree with you if you just
Present.
screen the condenser.
yeah, and then
Two
if,
sides.
then I would encourage the homeowners, if they did that, to buy some
Shrubbery
plants,
that,
though we won't take that into consideration,
Understood.
sort of. Right,
yeah, so I think if. I think if I'm hearing everyone. Like the stand, we need a picture of the stand for the side and.
Like a comparable photo of.
Or a
like-
drawing.
Or a drawing.
Or a
And
drawing.
what's the materials?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then if
pressure
you're-
treated.
if
This
you're
is,
gonna put lattice on it, then, I mean, what I would do is I would hinge the lattice so that you can get at the
Access.
thing and not have to make the support structure that much bigger,
Oh, 100%.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think that's what we're,
Yeah.
I won't speak for everybody, but that seems to be a general consensus is. Picture the. Prototype of the stand. And
Yep.
then kind
Because
of-
there's no stand details in the
No.
application.
No.
there's some black Sharpie.
yeah, there's some black Sharpie. I don't really,
It's gonna be on the side
I'll
or the
talk to
back.
my carpenters and see who can, draw me
Yeah.
something up.
Yeah.
It's not really typically
Right.
my area.
You didn't major in art?
I did not, no.
That was a
unfortunately.
mistake.
From your
Um,
drawing, your Sharpie drawing, I thought you did, man.
Yeah, right. It's that shaky hand. Um, So next steps would be get this together, come back for the, the following meeting in 2 weeks.
Yep.
July 2nd, what is it, July 2nd, next meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, I know
First
I can-
Tuesday in July.
if I can whip something up quickly while you guys are still here, could we consider it
You
at the
mean
end of?
while we're sitting here?
No, after, I don't know what else you guys have
Not
going.
much.
I mean, obviously, we've got a full gallery here. I just know the homeowners itching to get,
Especially this week, they're really feeling it.
yes,
Yeah.
and that house is hot.
So you thinking you can get detail while we sit here? Is that the idea?
I think so. I can make a couple phone calls.
I'm fine with continuing and coming back to it later in the meeting.
How full is your schedule right now? If we continue, is it gonna hold these people off a month?
Yeah,
And you guys know I'm usually the stickler. My feeling is if he can write something, we make the COA subject.
Yeah.
To that it's what he describes. What's your feeling? You agree?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think this is a particularly elaborate or exotic structure here. I mean,
No, it's
visually
not.
it's not in mind, so.
I know, that's what, that's,
History.
yeah, that,
Good suggestion, John.
Cause it's summer, if we hold them off a month, they install in September,
Right.
then
Exactly.
what's the point, right?
Right.
yeah,
No, I
Also, they
think
put
if
his
you-
oil sales for the winter.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to. Does anyone in the audience want to speak for it?
For or against,
Somebody back there just raised their hand.
I'd like to make a motion to continue this for later in the meeting while he continues to gather ideas from the owners
yeah,
and presents a drawing to us at a later hour.
at a late, yeah.
Minute.
Yeah, at a later
Yeah,
minute.
Well,
Uh,
I mean,
I'm not so interested in sitting here while he does that, actually.
No.
So I'm thinking we could just make a conditional on that he supplies all that stuff.
Well, we still have old business to get over. It's gonna take you 10 minutes to give us a sketch, right? Yeah.
Right.
10 minutes.
Yeah, so we're not gonna just sit here and stare at him while he draws.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe give us some
Give
suggestions
a little
on
shaky hand.
design.
All right, we
Yeah.
have other stuff to talk
Yeah.
about anyway.
Exactly.
All right.
So,
Run and see if he's got some colored pencils.
Okay.
Let me give you that back. Let me grab my own pen out of my own truck.
okay,
Only got about 50 of them in there.
so, I made a motion to pause this and come back to it.
Later on in the
Second,
meeting. A Goodrich second.
right? Heck.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keith and I.
Goodrich, aye.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. So with that, the public hearings for now are closed and we'll return to the public hearing.
You're gonna talk at all about the Just Mystic sign? Guys, the ones at the top, the no-shows?
So
We
Just
give them
continue
time.
it.
We just continue it. We're gonna continue it in the next round of voting.
Oh, okay. All right, just.
All right, so for now, we're closing the public hearings, but we will reopen them when he's done with his drawing. So with that in mind, HDC 20, we're going to the public hearings, HDC 24-0043, 33 West Main Street. The rebrand signage, he was not here, so make a motion to continue it to a later meeting or,
Yeah, motion to continue.
okay, motion to continue.
Brady, second.
All right,
Aye.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keith and I.
Goodrich, aye.
All right, HDC 24-0043 is continued. Now on HDC 24-0044, 25 New London Road, Lauren Connors, owner, the mini split that we heard prior. Any thoughts or
I think it was well presented and well thought out.
agreed? Ferguson makes a motion to approve.
Goodrich second.
All right,
Aye.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keith and I.
Goodrich, aye.
All right. So the motion is, I'm sorry, the
Application is approved.
application is approved. Yes, and so we'll
That's a continue.
close the public hearings for now. Again, we'll reopen them later in the meeting. There's no pre-apps.
Do we need to make a motion to continue the Mystic? Or did we do that?
You did.
We
Okay.
did that, yeah. So pre-application review, I don't see any online or in the audience, so we'll move through that. Next, we'll jump to the public communications. Does anybody on the commission have a public communication?
Yeah, so I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if you guys have, but I've been told that Bank of Bridge has now added more of the fencing that isn't fencing. I don't know if you're aware of this.
I'm gonna have a discussion with you guys under old business,
Okay,
under conversations I've had with the attorney and where we're at with it.
Okay,
And it should address that concern.
perfect.
all right. Do you have any? Does the
No, I have
town
no, I have
any
no public communications.
public
for you.
communication? Okay. So public communications is closed. We'll now move on to approval of the minutes from June 4th. We'll turn to
I make a motion to approve the minutes of June 4th, regular meeting as presented.
Ferguson second,
Aye.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keith and I.
Goodrich, aye.
All right, so the minutes from June 4th, 2024 are approved. So now we'll go turn it over to the town for old business.
Okay, we'll jump right into the Bank and Bridge situation. Since how John had brought it up about a newly found concern. So at the last meeting, you guys requested that we have the attorney send him a letter of notification that the fence is installed without an approval. So I notified the attorney and the attorney said, all right, send me over the application, all the submittal documents. Send me over the meeting, the video of the meeting, the video of the consideration. So just give me the timeframes of when they're in that. I'll look it all over and give you an opinion or, figure out where we're at with it. So it's back and forth with him. There's some questions last week, some questions about history of it, some questions about the current application, some questions about the kind of the position of the applicant. And what it was determined was that the application that you guys heard and acted on, it's in the attorney's opinion that you did not act on the appearance for historical appropriateness of that particular fence, but you acted on the structure of it. So he's looking for an exact statement from you guys of what you are looking for a correction.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, when we said it's not a fence because it doesn't have posts and it can just weeble wobble as is, he wants us to define what a fence is
He
from a
wants you to
legal.
define what you want there that would satisfy what you feel is a fence.
Is-
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
I just.
Yep. You
Just
probably
want- I was-
said it better than I.
No, I just want to make
just
sure
explained it, yeah.
what you're saying, we're all hearing.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, thank you for clarifying that, but that is, yeah.
Okay.
If I could just revisit that he stated that he felt that the application, the consideration was not for the appearance or the historical significance of it, but it was of a structural nature. That was why it was denied.
And I say that's a distinction without a difference, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the structural nature of the fence has got everything to do with the appearance of the fence.
Right.
And in our discussion, if he reads the minutes of the discussion, we were discussing as much the appearance of the fence as we were we said it doesn't look like a fence, it doesn't have posts. So I think that the and by attorney, it's the owner, it's the same guy, right?
No,
No,
our
it's
town
Richard.
attorney.
Oh,
Rich
the
Cody.
town
The
attorney.
town attorney, yeah, yes.
But, yeah. But he's got to, I think the question's legitimate. What exactly does he have to do to win our approval?
Yeah.
That's a fair question. Whether it's appearance or structure doesn't really matter. I get that point. But, for him, like, okay, what do I have to do? Tell me exactly so I can do it and then I'm good. Or
He wants that from you guys so he can incorporate it into the letter.
into the
that
letter
he's
he
gonna
sends
send
him.
them.
This is exactly what you need to do.
Yep.
Do we need to do that now or
No,
can
no,
we?
you guys
Can we
when-
take the time to draft something?
Oh, absolutely.
Sarah,
You can put it on, the next agenda as a specific discussion, whatever. It's not imminent.
Okay,
Right, and in all fairness to the applicant, if we're gonna discuss it, it does have to be on the agenda. Has to be,
It should be,
Right.
it should be.
it really should be.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
no. And I'll make them, I don't know if I need to make a motion, but I'd like to absolutely put it on the agenda for. If Sue's listening, to
Yeah.
absolutely put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
So I have a question for Bill and staff. Is it better to be an agenda item or should it be a short special meeting? What's the better way to handle it? Or is it potato?
Yeah, I don't see why it
Okay.
can't be an item on a regular meeting agenda.
Perfect.
Discussion pertaining to, it doesn't have to be a special meeting.
So just to be clear, because the topic's been brought up in the past. If I wrote a draft of a definition of a fence for the committee and I pass it along via email, is that a meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I don't wanna.
Yeah.
That's really going down,
Bad
a slippery
hole.
slope.
Okay, no, I'm just.
That coupled with the fact that you have a document that doesn't already have a definition in it, in addition to a definition of fence, in addition to the kind of, I guess, ex parte communication that we're creating.
And again, I'm just asking so we can figure out
Yeah.
how to.
You guys could have as part of your discussion, you could probably initiate that as, what are we defining as a fence? And create a statement stating, we are in agreement that a fence is this. And we feel that what is currently installed does not meet what we all agree to be considered a fence. That's what I would say, how you should probably handle it.
I mean, I think we could all bring our statements and just
Yeah, that's
chat
what you do.
combine.
Yeah, you bring them all, everybody bring a thought or something, and you guys combine and create a statement and we can go from there.
Okay.
That's what I would recommend. So if somebody made a motion and there's a second to put it on the next regular meeting agenda to have a discussion.
If somebody second it, if not, I'll
I made a motion to put it on the agenda.
Goodrich second.
Rebecca, I.
Brady, I.
Ferguson, I.
Eastman, I.
Goodrich, aye.
And,
Just, we'll go out of our way to let the applicant know that we're discussing his fence? Or do we
I
not
think
care about
I
that?
think he sees it right here.
He could, it's
Well,
all
at the
public.
next meeting, I guess. is what I'm-
Yeah,
If it's on the agenda,
If it's on the
you know,
agenda, it's public.
It's an enforcement action. I don't know that,
Yeah, okay, I'm just
we
curious.
are required to notify him.
it's public, it's a
Public.
public agenda.
Right, if it's on the agenda,
So,
I'm certainly, I'll follow up, with an email with Rich and explaining that you guys are gonna put it on the next regular meeting agenda to have a discussion to
Yeah.
define exactly what you were looking for and all be in agreement. And then, if he feels that there's a problem with that discussion, we'll address it then. Or if some kind of notification needs to be provided anywhere else.
and is there any more to that?
Not,
To that particular story?
so
I know there
in
might
trying
be
to
more.
expand on what John was just talking about, how he added that. I'm going to talk to the attorney and explain that there's additional things and it be somehow incorporated in the notice that he is going to get, that it includes, that the notice includes what was in the application and anything that's been subsequently added.
And like I said, I've not seen it. Somebody just told me, hey, there's more of
I
that.
haven't seen it
yeah.
either. I haven't.
So in all fairness to the applicant, it's,
Actually, the last time I drove down, it looks like some of the sections were gone. That's what I noticed, like. On the section, if you're facing the building to the right, going down that side, it looked like a couple of the pieces were gone, but. It's,
Probably
they can
fell
only give it-
over.
The windstorm.
or one of the 2 a.m. bottle busters carried it away.
So anyway, yeah, so in essence, that's what he's looking for. He's looking for
Mhm.
specificity on what you guys want. So
So-
we can have a discussion and come to a consensus on that.
So with that piece in mind, I'll just ask for all the commission to come to the next meeting with a handwritten or typewritten definition of offense for us to discuss at that point in the agenda.
Well, I'm not coming in with anything because I think this is ridiculous.
Okay,
That's my personal opinion.
Alright.
A fence is a fence. I don't have to define what a fence
okay,
is.
well,
Just
you'll,
like
you'll
that
be
would-
part of the discussion.
When Cody said that we had to approve absolutely everything on an application, like you could do that.
Right, no.
So I have a beef with the town attorney, quite
Okay,
frankly.
all right.
You can communicate that.
Okay.
Okay,
I
well,
think he's being
I-
very, ridiculous.
I'm just saying for the,
That's right.
well,
You could just put that on. the
If this
Okay.
will move things forward. then-
that's what I'm trying to do. So that's why I'm asking.
I think the purpose of it is to try to move it forward with a
Clear,
clear,
black and white.
yeah, like a clear end game
Yep.
of where. What's gonna resolve it.
So,
Yeah.
all right, well,
I don't
I'm just,
think we're
I'm
heading
just
to this
asking the commission to do what you choose. We live in America, we can do what we want, but I'm
You're
just,
such a peacekeeper, Bill.
I'm just saying, I'm asking so we can have a healthy discussion that each of us bring that paragraph to it. So
The
I
other-
didn't want to, I just wanted to close up that.
Yep.
So,
Perfect. The other one was the.
But wait,
white
before we
fence.
leave, I wasn't,
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't think we need to bring a definition of offense, frankly. I think we need to bring a suggestion for what we would like to see that we would find acceptable.
That's
I
the.
think that's a
ultimate goal.
different thing. I don't think we're
well,
defining a
and
universal.
he
offense.
also very subtly said that it's not in our handbook, the definition of offense, and we might want to consider.
I know,
adding that.
no, and that's an idea that we
Well,
may or
not a
may not have to
definition of a
do.
window either.
So-
I mean, give me a.
And
So I'm going
Like-
back.
I was gonna make that same point. If I come in for a window and I put a piece of plastic up with wood trim, it's not a window, but I do understand. Although I agree with Mr. Brady, I do understand Rich's point of
in this,
tightening everything up.
Well, where I'm coming from, if I could finish the thought, is that when we deny an application, which isn't the case here, but when we deny one, we're supposed to say what grounds for denial, like what, and we're supposed to word it in the sense that here's what you need to do to get approval for what you're trying to do.
Not the second part. We're
But
not
that's-
supposed to
that's
tell the
the-
applicant what
No,
to
we're
do.
just
Here's
approve or
what we
deny.
need. We've done that. We need the specs. That's an example of us saying what we need to approve it. We've had a
Right,
history.
but
of
that's
doing
not
that.
telling the applicant what to do.
That's
not Correct.
telling the applicant
what I kind of understand.
fence.
But it's telling them what we need to approve. Or if we're denying, we say that why we're denying, we're supposed to give them a reason for denial, not just say we don't like it. We're supposed to say it's to something or other.
We said it wasn't a fence.
Which allows them to fix it. And so then the question for the applicant would be, okay, you don't like that it's too massive, or it's too rhythm's bad, or whatever the architectural thing is. How much do I have to do? And we could give them suggestions. We don't have to tell them what to do, but we can give them some indication of what to do. That's not this case, because in this case, he went and did something that is really murky, whether what was approved or whether it's out of compliance or not. But I think the issue is, if I were him, like, tell me what I need to do to make this right. And I'm talking through the attorney's lingo, because he's going to want to write a letter that's really crisp on, you do this and you're good. And he doesn't want to have it come back to us and say, well, we don't really like that. And we think the fence is still flimsy.
Well, I disagree with you. I mean, I do not think it is our job to tell someone what to do. And I also don't think it's our job
Okay,
to tell someone what a fence is.
all right.
I mean, give me a break.
I mean, then what are you gonna start doing, defining what doors are and windows and nails
I
and
mean,
roof shingles? It's,
This guy knows what he has to do,
And he's just
not
prolonging
doing
the
it.
process.
and Rich isn't helping us in that respect.
so
Right.
along those lines, just a question, maybe even a suggestion.
Hold on, pause. Are you,
Yeah, no, I think we can give him some direction, but you know, if we don't want to go there, we don't want to go there then.
okay, sorry. I just want.
Do we think it would be best to have Rich here? So if there's any questions, we're doing them real time rather than us talk, sending it to Rich. Rich says yay, nay, in between. I don't know. It's up to you guys. Just
I
to,
doubt he would come for an initial conversation on it.
Okay.
I think if there couldn't be a consensus on the board, he might come for something like that.
okay.
I wanted to hear the applicant say what he's willing to do. That's why I was
The
going to want to
applicant has
let him.
not been at a meeting.
He's
for-
I
never
know,
showed
but he
up.
might come to a meeting where we're going to talk about what a
I
fence
don't think
is.
so. but
Well,
you can
I think he
see.
should have the opportunity to.
Well, fine, we've given him plenty of.
Correct.
Just- I don't want many more role. I mean, it's different. If it's a public meeting, fine, but people don't look every day for it, and you can say they should.
Yeah, he's not gonna know that.
He's not gonna know, so I don't want to at all feel sneaky about it. I think let him know we're working on your fence. And I would be interested in what he would say. I don't think, if he comes, that'd be great.
I mean, if
So
I could just give him a courtesy email or call.
I know I don't have to. I get
Yeah.
it. It's courtesy.
but we've been courteous
Right,
to
Right,
Pearl and Tibbetts or whatever.
yeah, I mean, it's,
Tibbles.
We don't want to stop being courteous. if
Right,
We're not getting
exactly.
it back.
Tipples, I believe.
It's tipples,
Tibbles.
Pearl provisions and tipples,
Okay, yeah. Okay. So I'm just saying we were courteous in that.
which everybody says the food there is amazing, but I haven't gone yet. But when I'm working out at the gym, everybody has eaten it the night before and said it's great.
Okay. Second, new business.
the second one was the one up on High Street with the white fence.
Yeah.
That got put up. So we talked to Rich about it, and Rich was asking, has a written notice ever been sent to the owner? And Tom had not, because he had been in phone communication with him, trying to sort out. So Rich suggested that
That's the
the
first.
further, yeah, before he gets involved and does the follow-up kind of demand letter, the notice of violation gets sent first through the typical enforcement. So Tom I think he's already mailed that out. He did that, certified, sent that out. Thought I had one. The handbook update. He contacted us last week, had a couple of questions about a couple of the things, looking for probably some technical items on it. Said that he's working on it and it should be coming along. I suspect you'll see comments from him probably in the next 2 weeks on that.
That's
So,
Oh, cool.
yeah,
Good.
they'll probably be, I don't know, late July, early August undertaking of looking at his comments and seeing again, if you guys, based on his comments, if you want to revise anything that was initially drafted.
So I'm not gonna do it now, but maybe at the next meeting, we put on the agenda or create a special meeting to look over those comments.
Let me make sure I get him first.
Okay, okay.
Um,
I just didn't know how proactive we needed to be for the
I mean,
agenda.
you can get an email to all of us, and at that point, we can set it on, give us a couple weeks to look at it, put it on
Okay.
the agenda then.
right,
Okay,
right. Yeah,
I just,
yeah, let me see how. it
no, I
progresses.
just wanted to be proactive and
Right,
not miss a week.
Yeah.
Or miss 2 weeks.
Yeah.
because- Okay,
I just wanted to give you an update that it's in progress and probably. It sounded like from the conversation I got that it's probably gonna be nearing completion shortly.
all right, I'd like to make close new business, and make a motion to open up public hearings again to HDC 24-00457 Pearl Street. Need a second. I need,
Hacker second.
all right, the vote,
Hacker,
We
aye.
need a vote to reopen a public hearing.
yeah, because I closed it.
You continued it.
I continued. Yeah,
Alright.
so
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, I,
Goodrich, aye.
there's plenty of time.
Jeff Gillies, Densmore Oil for 7 Pearl Street. I am not an artist, but I spoke with the, oh yeah, oh geez. Let's find our happy place here,
That's part of it.
right?
Nice.
Yeah, right.
Well done.
I know, right? So 4x4 posts to support the structure with some 2x6 decking, all in pressure treated with lattice to screen. It'd be 36 inches deep, so from the house, 36 inches out and about 48 wide.
And do you have a list of the materials written along there? I just can't see it, so.
I did, it's,
Perfect.
oh gosh,
Do you still have your laptop?
I do.
I would love for the public, I have it, I think of the lattice that you're going to,
Sure.
and then. I think that would,
How wide is the actual unit?
42 inches.
I mean, it's 32 inches this way. How deep is it?
30
Oh,
seconds.
18.
But you're gonna make the platform 36?
Yeah, I have to be a little bit off
Off
the
the
house.
wall.
Yeah, I've got to be a little bit off the house so it can breathe.
And then
Um,
center it on the platform.
Center it
itself,
on
so-
the platform. Exactly.
You have a future in designing platforms. We understood that. I'm impressed.
Is that an inch? That's good news.
Yeah, Sue was saying that she's having difficulty picking you up on your microphone. If you could maybe move it a little closer.
Sorry, Sue.
Yeah,
Ooh, me?
you, yeah,
Oh,
thank you.
Sorry, Sue.
You have a soft, mild mannered voice too.
like
Not
Clark,
soft, but
Clark Kent of the HDC.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Find something that's somewhat comparable.
Got HomeDepot.com or something.
Yeah. Absolutely. Home Depot's your friend. These are crazy designs. We'll probably paint it the same color as, let's see, where are we at here? Painted the same color as the stucco. And try to match that as best we could. If that would be preferable, because it looks like, obviously we're all standard colors.
The traditional squared.
squared.
Yep. Just for the record.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, painted to match stucco or bare wood. I don't know what would look better.
Yeah, the bare. Either the bare wood
But
would
we don't
probably
have
match
any-
the stand better, but.
We don't have any jurisdiction over painting.
That's
anyway,
true.
so
Okay. Yeah,
Whatever,
you're
he
right. Thank
he
you.
can paint it purple and we're still stuck with it.
It's just that
So-
the lattice that's shown in the artistic rendering.
Is both square and diagonal. So
Mm.
he just
So
wanted to
it's
keep
both.
it.
Oh,
he
one
wanted to
side
keep
is
his-
square and one side is
He
diagonal.
just wanted to keep his options open.
It's impressionist, it's modern art, okay, just squint.
So, but
Alright.
that's why I wanted him to
The-
show the picture, so we know for the record, it's gonna be
Yeah,
squared.
I mean, all of this lattice that Home Depot has is not what I'm kind of going for. Of course, the wood lattice that I'm used to is all diagonal,
Right.
so.
So-
Let me see if I can find something that's in here. Come on, Home Depot, you got this.
So
It's gonna be that.
is that what you're
diagonal.
talking about?
Yeah,
It's gonna be the diagonal, not the square,
not the square.
It's gonna be the one you're showing?
What he's showing, yes.
or that style.
That style.
Well, that would be fine.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. I don't know.
I don't have any problems with them.
Okay, so on this here, just make a note and say diagonal lattice and the initial. Stand.
Well, and I think you want to say it's wood too,
I think it's redwood.
if you didn't write wood on there.
Yep. Wood lattice screen diagonal.
And that would be good enough for me.
Why you just initial the whole.
You want to date it too, or?
No, but we need a little pinprick of blood and
You got a wax seal that you.
I left the wax seal at home today.
Hey, with your feather.
I'll bring one next time. I got one in my house,
Yeah.
believe it or
With
not.
your feather pen.
Exactly.
Thank you for doing that.
Thank you for bearing with me. It's a little out of the norm of our typical projects, which we're doing a lot right now.
I don't want to sound like a nerd, but just so you know, if you ever have square lattice, you
Yeah.
can just cut it at an angle and that'll make it diagonal lattice.
Yeah.
So I'm serious. I'm not joking.
That's why I do, that's why I do.
Are you guys hiring? Cause I think he really wants.
He's doing great.
You got a design department?
We have to start taking construction advice.
So I got a couple projects that has, can you stop by afterward?
When it comes to HVAC materials.
You're the
that's-
expert.
Yeah, that's
You're the
my,
expert.
that's my area.
So, all right. Any,
Close public.
I was gonna, well, before I do that, I have to say anyone in the audience want to speak or for? No, any discussion? All right, now we'll close the reopened public hearing for HCC 24-0045 7 Pearl Street. Thank you. And now I would like to make a motion to reopen the consideration of public hearings.
Goodrich, second.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, I.
Goodrich, aye.
All right, now I'd like, with that reopened, I'd like to take a vote for HCC 24-0045 7 Pearl Street. The air handler installation,
You're making a motion for that?
making a motion to
Approve as
approve it
presented.
as it presented. Yes,
Like, make sure you said.
You said you made the motion?
yeah,
I'll second that. Keatsman, second.
Haka, I.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, I.
Goodrich, aye.
All right, now I'd like to make a motion to close the consideration of public hearings for the second time. All right,
Goodrich, second.
Haka, I.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, I.
Goodrich, aye.
All right,
We need a vote.
well,
Yeah,
I'm just covering my bases.
We're covering our bases.
It's not,
Just
took
making
us
sure.
30 milliseconds to do that, so I'm not gonna.
Missed the vote on Connors. Were we okay on?
Yeah.
No, we turned that.
We,
down.
it was,
We wanted to put it up higher on the house.
right, it was
It
too
was too
low.
low for
It was
our
too low.
liking.
That one's up the hill.
We wanted it like third
Bill wanted to
floor.
help you design another stand. He has some ideas for some different materials.
I had,
wrought iron.
I'd drawn a picture around the chimney. I thought it would look good up
Yeah,
there.
brick.
So just as a side note of that. The, as far as flood construction of items like that. It's getting more and more strict, the state, the insurance. They're looking at repetitive loss claims. And they're really starting to crack down on it. So it's like when all this flood construction first came out, everybody was kind of figuring out workarounds and trying to do this. And they're starting to really put the squeeze on it, and
Interesting.
we're at one point, we're projected to have our permits audited. To find out how we're handling, to make sure that we're handling properly, and ones that are in the zones are addressed as they should be. That coupled with the fact that it's going to, the data that's being collected is going to affect flood insurance rates. So the repetitive losses, stuff that people did that was not flood compliant, that they're acting on and asking for claim money on, it's all going to create like a rating system that's going to affect flood insurance rates based on overall action or lack of action that your community has taken for flood rating construction. So the squeeze is coming on it.
We're seeing that automotive too, because on an electric car, the minute the water hits the batteries. Car is totaled, where if it was a gas car and it got up to the floorboards, if it didn't hit, if it didn't come inside, it wouldn't be. So yeah, they're actually looking at maybe doing different insurance rates on electric cars for that very reason, because when water hits those batteries, they're done.
Can we, I got a question maybe about, I'm sorry to go back to old business, but about the fence. Todd's got me thinking I'm on the wrong side of this. In terms of how much specificity is your sense
That Rich
for
wants.
what Rich is looking for? I mean,
I would say the more that can be provided, the clearer the picture can be
Yeah.
to, in the letter that's gonna go to him.
yeah,
I don't have like a draft notion in my brain of the exact items or, bracketing systems or anything that you should be mentioning, but
Thanks, guys.
I
don't know.
yeah,
Thank you.
all right. Well, that wasn't
Something to
very
think about.
helpful.
I know, sorry. I
didn't mean it that way, man.
yeah,
That's
Because
why
I'm going
that's why
offense is
I
offense,
think that- I think that this is
and then,
an
yeah.
exercise in futility.
Yeah.
Good follow.
Yeah.
All right.
Why don't you
Okay.
just why don't we just look at a Webster's dictionary and see how they define a fence?
Funny, that's what I was gonna do for my statement, just cut and paste.
Yeah, see what a fence is.
All right, well, as I said, my suggestion is for each of you to bring something to the next meeting. We talk about it during that
Alright.
agenda item. And with that in mind, I'd like to motion to adjourn.
Hector second.
All good? All good.
for a second there, I thought you guys didn't want to leave.
All right.
It took a while to get that second.
I got nothing better going on tonight. We can hang out as long as you
All
want.
right. Well, I came straight from work.
I'm joking, guys. I'm joking.
I'm starving.